I've got a goal and I need your help. The goal is to make this podcast reach every corner of the earth. But the only way that I can do that is if you hit that subscribe button. And in exchange, I'll make you a promise. I promise you that the production will get better and we will go far and long to get many more amazing guests and to keep on bringing you exciting and insightful episodes. And listen, I'm proud and appreciative of every single individual that supports the podcast. You're a part of the ERP family. Therefore, hit that subscribe button and let's get on with the video. Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Endless Race podcast. And today I am sitting down with none other than Chai&Crumpets.
Hello.
These guys have their own podcast, which we're going to dabble into in a minute. But guys, if you just want to introduce yourselves, because I know we've got an auntie here and a
we went in. A grandchild. Hello. Yes, my name is Sim. I am a content creator, a makeup artist, and a hairstylist, and I am Chai from Chai&Crumpet.
I've got sweaty palms.
Same. I'm nervous.
I'm the Crumpet from Chai&Crumpet. I'm Olive. I'm a Gen Z entertainment presenter and content creator. Lovely to speak.
Nice. So when did you guys start the podcast?
So there was a lot of planning.
There was a lot of planning.
We launched it end of February.
Let's go back. We actually met in the offices of one of our friends where Olive works with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Shout out Contract Network.
I went up and I saw her and he went off for a call. I think he was away for a long time and we were just sitting there and I was telling her about how I wanted to start this podcast, and I actually started with somebody else and it didn't work out for various reasons. But Olive wanted to create more of a brand online, and I had always been told from my clients that we love having chats with you. You should do more chatty videos. Mm-hmm. So we kind of just like thought about doing something, and then Chai&Crumpets was born.
Yeah. But it was crazy because I'd been wanting to do a podcast for ages.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as you know with podcasts, there's so many out there.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm not going to do it until I've got something different that's going to stand out from the crowd. And I'd literally been going around loads of my friends being like, oh, would anyone be interested in doing a podcast? I really want to have a co-host. And obviously a lot of my friends about 9 to 5s or corporate jobs, they're like, I just can't do it with my schedule. And then suddenly gone to the office and Sim's like, oh, everyone do a podcast. Like, do you know anyone that'd be interested? And I was like, I want to do a podcast.
Yes.
Hello. And then I was like, this could really work because I think at that point we've been friends for what, a year or two?
A year or so,
Yeah.
Okay.
But
we both worked together a lot on different projects. So
Yeah.
that was the main thing for me. I needed somebody who was going to match my work ethic or do more than me.
Yeah.
And Olive just came along and she's like,
Yeah.
she's so controlling. But I love it. She's so controlling.
Controlling
She's
in
so
the best
hardworking.
way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like I want somebody to stand up to me because I'm such a fiery personality. So I need somebody to be like, actually, no, it's going
Some
to be
people
like
call
this.
it bossy, but
See, the first time that I met Liv was at, I think it was a basketball training.
yeah.
And, you know, this little, like, hi.
She's
hi.
so cute.
And then you see her on Instagram and, you know, it's like, oh my God, this is not the person that I first met, or the first impression that I got. Yeah, the first impression that I got of Liv was very shy.
Yeah.
But
was
now-
that a couple of years ago? I think
Yeah,
it
that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Back when I used to run my basketball sessions.
Yes. Yeah.
I was thinking Liv is so shy. And
Literally further
clearly,
from the truth.
yes, far from the truth.
I think when I go to the basketball sessions, so it's like my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you do your thing. You know, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to watch,
She was cheering.
observe, put my AirPods in. No.
One thing I notice about her is when she's sitting down and you look really friendly and you are really friendly, and then when she like stands up, she like rises to this kind of like presence because she's so tall.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like,
How tall are you? How tall are you?
Like that.
yeah, 6 foot.
Yeah.
I'm 6 foot. So people are always shocked because they'll see me online, and then because I make a lot of friends like online, not in a creepy way, but like new presenter friends, and then we'll meet in real life and they're like,
Yeah.
you're so tall. I had no
Whereas I get the
idea."
opposite. I'm just like, oh, you're so little.
Yeah. But that's why it's really funny when we're talking about doing a podcast. I'm like, for starters, hi, polar opposite. And there's so many friends that have like a really tall friend and a really short friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that is relatable.
Yeah.
Then I said, obviously, the age difference.
Are
So, darling.
Are we gonna disclose that? or-
Yeah, it's fine. I'm 37.
Yeah. 37
Oh, okay.
and I'm
I
23.
thought it was a bit.
Do I look old?
No, I'm joking.
Oh my God, I was about to launch myself.
Like, give me a water. I'll my back.
You wouldn't even have to move. You'd just be like,
and it'd just go. But yes, we were like, we've got the age difference there. And I said, there's so many friends where like, you know, when you're friends with Sue at work and she's like 20 years older than you in the office, but you get on so well and you always have a natter and a gossip. We were like, that is almost like our friendship where we've got that age gap, but we still get on so well.
Yeah.
And then obviously we've got different cultures. I've grown up in a really relaxed compared to Sim's household, and my parents were very like relaxed, had a relaxed upbringing, whereas Sim's was a lot stricter than mine.
Okay.
mine was like typical Asian household.
What ethnicity?
Yeah,
I'm Indian. Okay. Yeah.
and I'm white. If you can
It's funny you say that, because the first time we did a TikTok together was about age as well. We were just having fun in the background of one of the films that we were working on.
How old are you?
Okay.
I'm 20.
Yeah, it was
We
so
filmed
funny.
that.
And that did so well.
Yeah, so that
was
just
so
so then we were
good.
like, okay, there's something there where there's an age gap thing. Hadn't seen a podcast with an age gap. I feel like now there's a couple where it'll be like a son and their mum or a daughter and their mum, but I hadn't seen like millennial and a Gen Z. So we were like, that's definitely different. And then with the culture differences, just in our everyday life, we were having conversations where I'd tell her things about my childhood and she'd be like,
I'd be like gasping.
Yeah, exactly.
she'd be like, you got away with that. She's like, completely different in my household, couldn't do that. And then I'd be like, really?
Yeah.
You didn't get away with that? You didn't do that? And then we're like, this would be so good on a podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Because with two of you, I always think that it's harder to run a podcast with two people.
Okay, so that's what my thing was. If I was going to have somebody, they had to be able to like work hard like I do. The other thing is they need to bring the energy. They need to bring their own personality.
And be able to talk as much.
Be able to talk as
You don't
well.
want it one-sided.
No.
Yeah.
Like
And
if
we
you were
wanted
just
it to be
chatting away
like
and
you're just meeting your friends for a quick chat, but you're just listening to us. You know what I mean? Whereas a lot of podcasts that I listen to, I love listening to podcasts, is more like one person is asking questions and the other person is more like giving the answers. You don't really get to know the personalities. I wanted it to be like a friendly kind of chat where you could get to know the people.
Yeah,
And it feels
exactly.
like a conversation basically in your car.
But that
which
was the
is
same
great.
because even with your, so obviously Sim does loads of makeup content and she's done that for years and built a following through that. But you don't see loads of your personality because you'll be doing makeup or, you know, to be fair, now you'll do more like story time content.
Because I've become so comfortable talking about what I'm doing and like everyday life and even like stupid things like, I don't know, like what am I up to today, you know, like people want to
Or you're
listen.
like fairy liquid hack.
Yeah, oh my God.
She did this video that got so many comments and it's literally just about fairy liquid. This is another thing.
I do these videos basically. Let me just give you a backstory. I do certain videos where it's just like on the spot in public because I'm so conscious about filming in public still, even though I've been doing it for 7-8 years. I still feel like everyone's watching. Nobody cares. Nobody's watching.
No one
me.
cares. That's
Yeah.
like Tube Girl. Literally no one's looking at you.
Nobody's looking at you.
Just whip your phone out.
So I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to whip out this my phone and just talk about fairy liquid. It's just something like a stupid like little hack that I've learned from my mum about figuring out which deals are actually deals and which ones are not deals. And it got so much engagement, like 50k on TikTok within a day.
And everyone
I'm just
commenting like, oh my God, I do this.
I'm a beauty
Yeah.
person. Do you know what I mean?
That's another thing we found in social media. There's so many times you want to go viral for like one thing and it just won't happen.
Yeah.
Like the thing you want to be known for or you want to go viral for, you won't be. But then the random thing you post that you literally didn't even think about will go viral and then suddenly you're like known for that. So like you've done years of content creation and then a video that suddenly does so much better is about fairy liquid.
What the hell?
Run the check.
I think that's why a lot of people give up is because like I was talking to you guys downstairs, you know, I'm producing so much good content.
Yeah.
It's getting such low views. I could easily say, oh man, F this. I don't want to do it. No one's watching it. No one's finding value. But for me, it's like, as long as people are watching it and some people are finding it value, that's what matters to me.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the future, we'll get to a bigger scale where more people find it.
But it's all about like shifting your content. We've both done this. And even me, I don't even think I've found my thing yet on TikTok because one video will do really well, one does awfully. And it's, you kind of have to like test. So you're like trialing and erroring things. So for ages, I was like, I want to be that girl that's known for doing vlogs and just doing funny vlogs because I like just do random things every day. So I think every day I posted vlogs for a month.
Oh my God.
And
When
they
she
just
goes in. It's
Yeah,
so
I was
inspiring
posting
to
it every
watch.
day and I'm getting like no views. And I was like, I just want to be known for vlogs, but the views aren't there. So I was like, people just obviously aren't vibing with it. So I have to let that dream go. And I'm going to have to try something else. Then I tried doing like green screen videos where there'd be like, I don't know, a news article or something that had happened, and then I'd speak over that, or like Met Gala, reviewing outfits. And that was then doing really well. So then I'm like, okay, that's going to have to be one of my things, Met Gala. Then I've tried like giving advice videos where I like sit and do my makeup and I give advice, and like out of what the 10 videos, maybe 2 did well. So I'm like, not really vibing that as much.
You really
so
have to go back and analyse what's doing well,
yeah,
what people are picking up
you can't just post it and then be like you have to
really
actually
hone
look
in on
back and say, even what's so good looking at the watch time, seeing what time people stopped watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if they drop off in the first 2-3 seconds, your views are going to go down.
You need to change your hooks up. If you're seeing people like watch half the video, it's because you're not giving enough in the first half, because all your juice is at the end. So you have to provide all your juice at the beginning of the video so that people will actually stay till the end.
Yeah.
But I think if you're thinking about like, I'm not getting a lot of views, I always say to myself, as long as one person views it and one person gets help out of it, it's just like you're doing a one-to-one consultation.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that keeps
Technically
it
it's
going.
for free. But imagine like you get like, we were getting like 200, 300 views. And I had to remind myself, if there were 200, 300 people in the room, I would be panicking right now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
I'd be like, what?
Yeah, just because it's 200-300 views, it doesn't mean like it's not doing well. It just means you need to get the juice flowing in the middle, you know, at the beginning.
And like you said, just believing in your content.
Yeah.
Like there are times where a couple of our videos got like 200-300 views, and we're like, why is
oh my God,
done
that
bad?
period. Yeah, we're in a period where we were hitting like thousands and thousands, like 20,000, 30,000. And then all of a sudden it went down to like 200, 300.
Is that on TikTok or Instagram?
On TikTok.
TikTok.
For like a couple of weeks, and we were like,
just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But then we knew, I was like, we just need to be confident.
Yeah.
Our content is really good. It's the same that we've been posting for months now. I just think there's something wrong with the algorithm.
Yeah.
I was like, I just think there's something that's messed up. We're posting it.
You can't blame the algorithm. That's what
I blame the algorithm. Okay,
cannot.
all these people, don't blame it. No, okay. Sometimes the algorithm hates you. I'm being
The
so
algorithm
real.
changes. It doesn't hate you.
I know it changes, and so many people
doesn't.
are like, "Oh, I went for a talk at TikTok, and they tell me there's no such thing as shadow banning." There's no such. Well, I'm like, come on, I've just given you such a good video, and you're giving me 200 views. Something's gone wrong there, and it's not me.
Yeah, I was getting that. Obviously, not the 200k views. You know, you're gonna have to flex on me like that, but it's more of the so I would get like 200 views in like a minute or like 30 minutes.
Yeah. So you're like, oh, it's going well.
It's going well, but it would stop.
Yeah.
I would check the next day. It's gone up by 2 views, and then I would post again, and it would be 0.
Yeah.
And it's
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you post, you'll get 1 view.
Yeah, it's
That's what I'm
weird,
like.
man.
There's something there.
I agree with Sim though. I don't think they hate you. I think it just changes.
Yeah.
I think it changes.
But I think there's things to do with like the quality. Like if you post one with bad quality, you're basically going to get like 5 views. If you post, there's been times where I've posted and I've had really bad Wi-Fi, but it still posts, but it's like struggled to post. And then I'll get like 5 views and I'm like, well, I'm going to blame that on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Do you think would you guys say you're perfectionists?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you think that helps us? Because I would say I'm a
No, it
perfectionist
doesn't
when
help
it comes
us at
to
all.
content creation and quality and all of that stuff. It doesn't help us, right?
It doesn't help. I think for my personal page, I just upload the video, I put my phone down, I go have a shower, I go
Yeah,
eat,
and that's it.
I do something and I forget about it for 5 minutes.
That's
and then
another
it's
thing.
up in the internet world and everyone's seeing it and I can't do anything about it. So that's how I get over my perfectionism. But when it comes to Chai&Crumpets, like I would say you are even more than I am.
That's
And
what
I
I
have
said,
to
'cause-
remind her
Yeah.
that like nobody cares. They're just watching and if they relate to it, then great. If they don't, then cool.
Because when we started the podcast, she was like, I need someone that's going to be a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And I was like, honey, preaching to the choir. You don't have to tell me this because I'm literally like that.
Yeah,
like
she is.
so high attention to detail. What was it you were saying?
Like every video that I post, she without fail gives me feedback without
yeah.
even asking. She's like, great positioning, great lighting, great quality. Like you could do this. Like it's great to have somebody to do that for you.
Is there
It's really,
is there
really
a
good.
but in that? Or is there always a but with Liv? Or
Do you think it's helpful?
I think it's very helpful.
Yeah, I think so. Do you know what? You're confident in yourself, though.
Yeah.
Someone that's not, they could maybe take that the wrong way.
Yeah.
And be like,
Yeah.
Oh,
"Stop telling me about my
definitely. You have to
content."
be open to criticism.
Yep,
But
we
I always
do.
wish some people do that for me.
I
Because
try
if
and
I'm
do
not
that for
getting the
you.
views, there's obviously something. And it's really hard to judge your own content.
Yeah, it's so
Because
hard.
obviously it's yourself. You've
Sure.
probably spent a while editing it.
Yep.
So you're very like desensitized to it.
Yeah.
And because it's you, you're
Yeah.
attached to it. But obviously on TikTok, it's literally a load of strangers. All they want to see in that opening is something crazy happening or something really valuable or something that's going to help them.
Like even this year, I was telling her, like, jump on like Love Island, for example, because content like that goes wild. I was like, you are telling me, you're voice noting me, get off that voice note and get onto TikTok and film yourself talking about what you're talking about and just like post it to the world and see how it goes. And you got so much off the back of that. Like it's so easy to like bounce off each other like
I'm
that.
glad you pushed me to do that.
Yeah. You mentioned hooks. Do you think we've failed as a society that we need a hook now to get our attention? Like if we don't get your attention within the first 2-3 seconds, do you think we've failed as a society?
I don't know if I'd say I failed as a society, but
we're getting worse.
Our attention span is so short, and so is
worse.
mine. And that's definitely started lockdown period.
Do you think?
And then watching TikToks for me. Like now, even watching a Netflix series, if I don't like it 10 minutes in, I'm not watching the rest. Whereas before, I'd give it a go.
There are a few layers to this. I will say I've worked in corporate, so I know exactly what it's like when it comes to you have to present yourself well, and that's a hook in itself.
Yeah.
If you look nice, you'll already hook people in.
Okay.
You don't actually have to be like Eurocentric beauty. You just have to make sure you present yourself well. The second thing is you have to be able to speak well and get your point across, because even in an interview, in any sort of environment, if you're not out there confident enough putting your point across, nobody wants to listen to you. If you're faffing around talking about stuff that people aren't interested in, you've got like 3 seconds to get, you're in front of a director, you have a couple of seconds to introduce yourself, you have to get your point across. So I don't think we failed as a society or things have changed. It's just a different format, I would say. With it being online, I think our attention span has definitely decreased, but I don't think that hooks are different in everyday life compared to
That's so
online.
slay. I've never made that connection before.
Really?
Yeah, it is. Like the way you present yourself.
Yeah.
You always
it's a good
expect,
point.
like in the workplace, you have to look good and professional and all of that, and that is a visual thing.
Yeah.
Because you see someone first,
Yeah.
and then you assume things about them.
Yeah, because what did I say? The first 20 seconds?
Yeah, of an
is
introduction.
Like, it's like, first impression is always important.
Yeah.
So it's like when they talk about the elevator pitch. Like if you're in an elevator, what are you going to say?
You have 2 seconds to...
Yeah, it's a good point. I never thought of it like that either.
It's because I'm a grandma. And I know these things.
I
love hearing about your corporate life because she's so creative. I think as well, that's just another conversation. Creatives in a corporate world is so hard because I have so many friends that are doing corporate stuff now, but they're just like, I don't feel creative anymore. Like I have no creative outlet. I just do the same thing every day. I'm really bored. And I feel like with you must have just got tired of that.
Honestly, I loved it.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it.
What about it?
I just felt like it was a process. Once you nail the process, you can do whatever you want. And I was part of a really small company, so they did give us the opportunity to be like creative in the processes. So it's not like what I do for makeup. It's so different. But at the same time, it was so nice because it was the easiest job I've ever had. I was in investment management and it was so easy.
And it's nice to be paid on time.
Yeah, it's nice to be paid on time. It's nice to be in. I was the guy in finance that everybody was looking for. I don't have blue eyes, but I don't have a trust fund.
That's funny though, because people do often think corporate job is harder and then going into creative freelance is easier, and they'll be like, oh, that's kind of like an easy route.
No, it's not.
It's so different because as a freelancer, it's almost like you're fighting for your livelihood to get a job, and you can't rest. Like you're constantly sending emails and speaking to people, and it feels like you're just emailing into the abyss and just no one's hearing you, and then you have to be like, I'm here.
You're your own advert. You're your own advert, right?
Got me personal there.
I like to say in freelance, like you're your own advert.
Yeah.
So how you advertise and market yourself is potentially.
And it's like all my corporate friends, they don't have to think about social media at all. They're just posting their cute holidays to Greece. Slay, and I do also do that. But when I'm on holiday now, I'm thinking, oh, how can I make a reel out of this? Like, oh, that would be a funny video, because I want to be posting every day because it's like an online portfolio. That's another thing. I've spoken to so many creatives recently, people wanting to get into radio or like production or whatever. And they've said to me, oh, how are you so comfortable with just posting whatever on Instagram? But I just got to this point where I said, I just need to stop caring about what other people think, because the first impression most people have of me is looking on my Instagram to see whether they're going to hire me or whatever. And that needs to be a reflection of me and my personality, because I'm doing presenting, so I need to
Yeah.
be able to show my personality on there. So people that wanted to get into production or radio, I'm like, post your stuff on Instagram. At the moment, you've got like 5 posts of your family holidays, which is cute, but no one can see any of the work you've done.
exactly.
Like, you have to post your work on Instagram. That is how you get jobs. Like,
What
for
I
real.
notice is that nobody really cares, but at the same time, everybody is nosy.
That's true. People are watching. And
People are 100% watching.
Yeah,
People have defo sent my stories to each other and gone, oh my
Oh,
God,
yeah.
like she's so vain, or
Yeah.
she's just chatting rubbish. This is the best podcast ever. But see ya, because all you need is one person to like watch that reel and then offer you a job.
Yeah.
And then
And
you
also,
can
it's
go,
good if people are forwarding your content onto other people without you knowing,
Yeah.
because it
Get more
Yeah,
views.
exactly.
Yeah.
Get more views. It increases the number of eyes on your page. But I will say, like, something like Instagram is so interesting because you have your posts, you have your stories, you have your reels, and they're actually 3 very different forms
So
of content.
Okay.
And like, I have so many people who don't even look at my reel on my feed, but then they'll look at my stories.
Okay.
So then you have to really figure out how to sell to people on stories versus people on reels. So it can't just be the same kind of content posted on all 3.
Yeah, you can't just post the reel and then post it on your story. That's
You
not good
can
enough.
do that, but what I'm trying to say is you have to. I do it like a story. So if you imagine you wake up in the morning, you have your breakfast, then you go to work, and then your story of your day, and then you post your reel, and then be like, okay, this is the reel that I've posted, and then it'll be the story of your day continuing until you go to sleep. That's how you do stories. Well, that's how I do stories. But most other people will just be like, oh, repost from this dinner or repost from this Pilates class. They don't actually have.
they haven't created a story
in
on
their
the story.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to tell people. That's how you get into people's days, because they get used to seeing you online and they want to know more about you, and they want to know more about stuff that you do, which isn't beauty, makeup, hair, all that kind of stuff. They wanna know
Stories
what
should
you're
be
eating.
more unfiltered.
Yeah,
actually.
100%.
Stories should be more, you're just in the moment, instantaneous. On
One
post
thing
it.
that I'm
less
getting-
curated.
One thing that I'm getting on my stories is people asking me what my diet plan is. I'm just like, yo, I'm not a fitness instructor. Like, you can go on TikTok, you can go on Instagram and figure this out for yourself. I can't do everything online. But how's it been for you? Like, how is like social media for you?
Yeah. How do you use it?
Mine's very simple. I would just literally, from this video, I would just find. I've been using. I don't know if you know Opus Clip, the AI stuff.
Oh yes, I've heard of that actually.
I don't know your views on that.
Yeah.
Whether you think that's a
Not
good
used
thing
it.
using AI. So what it will do, it will find good hooks, find the hook, and then link the answer, whatever, together, and it will create it for you. You don't have to use Premiere Pro or do any manual editing. It does it all for yourself, and it will give you a score, like a viral score, trend score. I don't know whether I believe all that
So
stuff.
you can like predict. It's predicting
Yeah,
how
because
the
I've
video's
got
gonna
like
do.
98 out of 100, but yeah, I've got 2 views, so I don't really trust it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the process would be chop the episode into reels, post it on Instagram, and then TikTok. Literally
Yeah.
the same reel that I will post on Instagram is on TikTok.
Yeah.
But I had a social media person come in and tell me you
Different.
can't
This
really
very-
do
you
that.
can't do
Yeah.
that.
He says that focus on Instagram because TikTok is just a different beast.
I think it's easier to get views on reels on Instagram
so?
right
On
now.
Instagram.
Yeah. When I look across the board, I get way more views on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Because I think they're really pushing reels
Okay.
because they're trying to compete with TikTok.
Yeah.
But it's true. To be fair, we post the same thing on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay.
But it is a very different audience, and I don't know how long we can sustain that for. To be honest, I think it works across because of our story times. But
yeah.
when we're doing personal content, I wouldn't post the same thing on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay.
I'm way more unfiltered and raw on TikTok, and literally just chatting rubbish
yeah.
because people actually want to hear that. Whereas on Instagram, I'll be more mindful of like the structure of it or the
It's
sound
more
that I'm
aesthetic.
using. Yeah.
People, you have an audience.
Aspirational. Yeah, I feel like Instagram's more aspirational and then TikTok's more relatable.
Okay.
So you kind of have to
Interesting.
show different sides of you.
Yeah.
But I think people on Instagram like it when you are relatable as well.
Yeah, that's true. Because so many people are aspirational.
Yeah.
If you do a relatable thing, then they're like, oh, this
They're
is
like, oh my
quite
God, it's
different.
So different, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I meant more like, okay, so that's how you create your content, but how do you interact with your audience?
Oh, good one. I'll be honest, I don't do anything.
Oh my God.
Audience! You're missing Mario!
But then partly, is it my audience's fault because they're not interacting with me?
Oh, here you go. He's shifting the blame onto you.
Do you know what? I'd say we've cracked it on our own account.
Yeah,
but we haven't quite.
Oh, no, I think we have cracked it on.
I think we've cracked it on Chai&Crumpets. It's just we don't do it enough.
Yeah.
Like
We
we
don't do it
need to
enough.
post on our stories more.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll take that. We'll
Yeah,
take
we'll
that on the
take
chin
that.
for enough. But you have to ask your
do you mean we're not
audience
perfect?
questions. So you are. You have to ask your audience questions, and so many of them will just think, not that you don't care about them, but they're just kind of watching it and they feel like bystanders.
Yeah.
But as soon as you ask them a question, then they're like, "Oh, like you actually want to hear from me?
What is it called?
I want to
in
get
acting
involved."
when you have
I'll break the fourth wall.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You've got to talk to your audience like they're in the room with you
Yeah.
and like they're part of the conversation
But
because
you-
you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You
it's
could
not
film some stories and be like,
I was going to say from
Yeah,
a story
oh,
standpoint
guys.
or a real standpoint.
both.
yeah. But
There'll
I'd
be
do more
time if you watch
stories.
our Chai&Crumpets reels. We will both look at the camera and like interact with people through the lens and also with each other. So
Yeah.
it feels like they're in the room as well.
Yeah.
But with your stories, definitely reach out to your audience and like ask questions.
Yeah.
And see what they're doing.
But you could even just be like, oh, so talking to camera, oh, I had like Chai&Crumpets on today. Like, what do you think of that name? Or
Yeah.
like whatever. It can even be just the most simplest thing. You'd be like, oh, the sun's come out. What are you guys doing this weekend? Some people will reply.
Yeah, loads
because they
of
just
people
want to
will reply,
interact. And then you repost it and you're like, oh, that's sick. And then people feel like they've been heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they start naturally buying into you because they're like, oh, it's this guy. Like sometimes on TikTok, oh my God, I meant to tell you, I went live the other day.
What?
I did my
tell
first
me?
live stream.
I missed it.
Do you know what? What was really annoying? When you're on live, you can't go off and text people.
No, but you should just tell me before. I would have made my chai.
It
and,
was
like,
quite last minute, but I was getting ready for a barbecue and I was an hour late to this barbecue because I was on live stream and I was thinking they're gonna know the reason I'm late because I'm here doing my makeup on live stream. But I was like, I'm seeing so many people doing it and they're doing it every day, so I was like, let me just try one, just see what
I'm
happens.
too nervous.
It went really well.
I'm too nervous.
I've been telling myself I want to do a live.
Why
just
don't
try
you?
it. You literally just chat rubbish. But I think you have to do something at the same time because otherwise I would have been really bored. But I did my makeup and ended up doing it for like an hour and a half.
Olive, people are sleeping on lives. People are
True.
sleeping. People
Yeah, they just lie there
and
and sleep
Yeah.
and they'll be getting thousands of views.
But I think it's the most demoralising thing when I'm on it and I get 2 people on it.
So, why are you concerned about the numbers?
So this is what happened to me.
Or
so
0.
the first 10 minutes, there was like 3 people on there, and I was thinking, so I'm just doing my chat. I was basically doing a makeup tutorial. I was taking your job. I was basically doing a makeup tutorial.
You're out here taking our jobs.
The worst white person ever. Take it back. So I was doing the live stream, and then there was like 3 people on there, and I was thinking, we need some convo going here because I'm just talking at you. Like, it's not a radio show. Let's have some interaction. So when someone joins, their name pops up. So I just went, oh, like, Stacey, what are you up to today then? And then she'd reply because I've called her out.
Yeah.
You can run, but you can't hide. So then she'd be like, oh, I'm doing this. And then I'd be like, oh, that's sick. And then just from there, then people started commenting because they could see I was talking to them. So you just start the conversation, get that rolling, and then just keep talking. Because they just think they're a bystander watching. But if you interact...
Break that fourth wall.
Yeah. And
interact.
then I started going, I had my music on in the background. So I went, oh... if you want a song request, let me know what it is.
Yeah.
And then people would be
She's
like,
out
oh,
here doing the whole radio.
yeah.
Whole
People would be like,
DJing.
oh, I'll play Justin Bieber. And then I'd put Justin Bieber on, then I'd do a little sing along. And then they're like, thanks, that's my
God,
favourite
you
song.
should totally do that on a more regular basis.
I should.
And then
People really vibe into it. And
Capital will
then
reach out to you and give you your own show.
yeah, hi Capital. I've emailed you. But then that fateful, dreadful moment happened where I had like 200 viewers at this point.
Oh, wow. Nice one.
I was doing really well. And then I got a comment going, oh my God, Liv, I'm loving this. And it was my friend from uni.
Oh,
And you know when you cringe because you realise someone you know is watching
I
it?
absolutely hate it.
And I was suddenly like, I love her, Tara, hey, love you. But I was like, oh my God, there's actually someone that I know watching this right now. And I've just been like singing, doing my makeup in my room. And then I was like, cringe. And then I was like, oh, I just got to own it. Like I'm an hour in now.
It's so
like,
embarrassing
here we
when
are.
people you know watch you.
Yeah.
Like, especially when
Yeah.
people come up to me and they're like, oh my God, I love this content. And they pull it up and I'm listening to myself on their phone. I'm just like, turn that shit off. Can we swear?
Yeah, you can.
Turn
Go
that
ahead.
shit off.
It's
Like,
true.
I will start a fight with you right now.
I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear
I
it.
woke up this morning, so like, lucky for me, my parents are really big supporters of like everything I do.
They're
Oh,
so
wicked.
cute.
But this
Wicked.
morning, I woke up to, it wasn't even my alarm, it was my reel that my dad's listening to in the bathroom.
no.
And it was me being like, here's this drink, like, do you know
my
drinks? Da, da, da. And I woke up and I was like, I can hear myself
No.
talking. Where's that coming from? And then I realised my dad watching my reel in the bathroom when he's like shaving, getting ready for the morning.
That is cute.
Yeah,
That is really
I was
cute.
like, cute, but I cannot hear my voice.
Yeah,
like, I'm
yeah.
so sick of me.
Yeah.
I hear myself every day. Turn that off. But yeah, live streaming, that can be something you get into. You just have to make your own convo.
Yeah.
Ask people questions. I was chatting to someone about Karate Kid. She kept going to me, what's your favourite Karate Kid? 2010 or 1987? And I was just like chatting about that.
Okay.
You know the thing with
Talk
you,
about anything.
the thing
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Olive
yeah.
is that she's so well-rounded as a human being. Like you can talk to her about anything, and she'll just pull through. Honestly,
I do
It's
know a lot of
so
random
good. and she's so
things.
young as well. It's like it's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie that you know
You're a
so
freak.
much.
It's because my sister's older, so I'm 23, she's 27. Or is she 28? Anyway, she won't want you to know. But I like grew up around her and her friends. So I was always friends with older people. And then I'd always be friends with like my parents' friends.
Yeah.
They would introduce me. So I've always been friends with older people. So I feel like I've kind of naturally been more mature.
Yeah.
A lot of people my age, even at the ripe old age of 23, can't even speak to adults.
Can't hold a conversation.
Yeah.
I speak to so
Yeah.
many 23-year-olds and they just don't know like how to talk outside of social media.
Yeah.
But Olive's this kind of person you take to a party and she'll work the room.
Yeah.
And she'll
Same with
make
you.
like you think so.
Yeah, that's why I like to bring you to events. Oh, there's nothing worse than bringing a plus
That's
one.
done. Oh my god.
And they're like a
tagging
bad
next to you,
smell that won't go away.
no.
And you're like, please, thanks for coming, but go have some fun. I'll meet you in half an hour.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's the vibe because, okay, we're network girlies.
Yeah.
We're going to an event, we want to network, we want to chat to whoever. Obviously, it's great that we go around together, but also, like, have your moment, go pitch
We'll have like a
yourself.
debrief halfway through. We'll be like, have you spoken to this person? Have you spoken to that
Yeah,
person?
yeah, yeah.
Have you spoken to that person?
Like, go over there.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah, this is the kind of person you need to speak to.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to say hi to
exactly.
this person.
But if you've got someone there glued to you, you
Yeah.
can't have your moment
Yeah.
being like, do you know, whatever. It's just
Yeah.
too much.
I've
You need
noticed
to be
that
able to-
my industry friends are so different from my private friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's only so much that I can overlap because the worlds are so different. Like you said, you can't just take somebody to a
Yeah.
party because they might not be able to like work the room.
That's
Yeah.
the
Whereas
worst.
like my content creating friends, they go in and they really maximize their time there,
Yeah.
and it actually makes you look really good as well. That you can bring somebody who can like talk
Exactly.
to people.
And yeah, and hold a convo. Even if they're in the corporate world, but as long as they're like a chatty person,
Yeah.
they can hold conversation. That's exactly what we need. Yeah, do you go to many events?
Nope.
Because that would be a good way to
Why?
Yeah.
that would be a good way
You
to
need to get
promote the
out there.
podcast.
I do. I really
Be
do.
someone out there, why are you scared?
Yeah.
How do I find these events? What events do you want me to go to?
Do you know what? Eventbrite. We did
Yeah.
this advice the other day. I go on
Anything.
Eventbrite and there's so many free events in there. We just type in like business networking event.
Oh, so you want me to go
Or
to business
po-
stuff?
Or
No,
podcast networking
anything.
event.
Yeah,
Whatever
podcast.
suits you.
Okay, so
You
my
literally
friend
just
next
type it
week
in.
is hosting a hot girl walk with Aloe Yoga, and I haven't seen her in so long.
You want to go?
Okay, what's
No,
wrong?
it's sold out.
I was going to say.
But
Sorry, you missed that one.
that's the only one. That's the only way
Put
I
your
can
little
see some
shorts
of my
away.
friends by showing up to their events. I'll be like, hey,
Yeah.
hi, I'm
That's
still
so
here.
funny. Also, that's a slave. I didn't know get an invite.
I don't know. I just went on and I logged on and I
Guys
just
are so
signed
funny.
up, and then I actually went back 5 minutes later and everything was sold out.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Snaps
but I
for
think
her.
I think it's like what 15, 20 people. If I don't know. Don't
That's
quote
so
me.
cool.
I'll let you know next week.
But honestly, Eventbrite, type in networking event, whatever, you get a free ticket and you go because you can promote your podcast there.
Yeah.
You'll meet like-minded people. There might be someone else that wants to start a podcast. You give them advice.
Fair
like,
enough.
It's fun vibe.
Okay, I've got two things from this conversation
Yeah.
that you guys are going to hold me accountable to.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
First one is interact with my audience more.
Yeah.
Whether that be,
Go and talk to them while you're.
I'm not going to say lives, but guys, I'm
Okay.
going to interact with
Start
you guys
with the
more.
stories first.
Start with stories and the reels, and then secondly, I'm going to go to networking events.
Good.
Do it.
What do they want to know? What do you guys want to know from him?
Yeah, what do you want to know about me?
Yeah.
Ask in the comments. Yeah, come on.
That's good. It's true that, yeah, that's another thing. You can say, I'd love to, like, what kind of content do you guys want me to post? Because that could actually help you. Maybe
Yeah.
there's something you haven't posted yet. Maybe people are like, oh, I want to see what food you eat or something. And you've never
True.
posted that.
Yeah, I would say
Don't be
learn how to
afraid.
serve your customers first, learn how to serve your audience. For me, I thought like in the beginning, going viral would be like the best thing to do because you have a bigger reach, you get to
Yeah.
see more people. But if you ask me today, I don't want to go viral. I don't want to have a video that goes viral on something that I'm not known for.
Because you
And I
can't
think
even
I
go
said
into
this.
Tesco now without getting
Yeah,
packed.
I can't. No, I'm joking.
Isn't that like Nosey or something?
No, because I just want to build a community, and it's your community that's going to help you grow. It's those people who are going to encourage you to do better. They're going to
true.
encourage you to like do stuff when you're not feeling like you want to carry on. So you need to focus on that community and really nurture it. So if you have, I don't know how many followers you have right now. So if you have like what 500-600 followers, imagine those people are in the room with you, and you're trying to like build a genuine community.
Yeah.
That's what you need to focus on, rather than trying to figure out how to get more people.
And that's, I think, I've not gone wrong, but that's my thing. I think
Really?
I feel like I know how to go viral,
Yeah.
you
but I
do.
don't know how to get followers because I feel like I'm not. I don't know. I'm just not quite built that community. But I'm getting the one-off videos that are doing well. But that's what you're very good
Yeah.
at, nurturing your community.
Yeah, I nurture my
Yeah.
community all
And
the
those
time.
are the people that they'll ride or die for you.
Yeah.
Every live stream they'd watch, every video they'll like it, even if it's not getting mad views, they'll be commenting.
I will tell you, the scary part is though, you say something online and you don't even remember saying it, and people will remember this
Exactly.
And bring it back.
and bring it back.
That's what I thought when I was doing my live stream. I thought, imagine the amount of people that have screen recorded this.
Yeah.
And I don't
my
even remember
So
what
I
I've
think that's
done.
my fear of doing
That fears me as well,
Yeah.
because what happens if you say something,
Yeah.
quite crazy?
Someone wants to
And
cancel
trying
you.
to cancel you,
Yeah.
exactly. But on the topic of like what you said about seeing my food and all that, I don't know, I can't,
On the topic of what, sorry?
of like
Yeah,
when Liv was
someone
asking
might
about,
just want to see what he eats.
Yeah.
like because my podcast is classed as like a
Yeah.
serious type,
Yeah.
I can't really see myself doing that or my audience asking that.
Is that
If
what
that
you?
makes
Is that what you
sense.
wanted? A serious podcast? Like,
Well, when I first started it, it was more of a Joe Rogan / Stephen Bartlett
Yeah.
style. And they don't, I mean, I don't see them doing that, but obviously their status is different to mine. So I can't see my audience doing that type
Yeah.
of stuff because it's seen as a interview type
Yeah.
styled.
Well, I think
Podcast.
ask them, but ask them what they want to see from
Mm.
you. But also, we have to remember stories. If you don't want it like a footprint of a reel of you eating or whatever, because it doesn't work with your feed,
Yeah.
put it on stories.
Yeah.
Like they go after a day.
Mm.
People might forget about them, but stories is a good way to experiment and see what content. Because
Okay.
if this isn't hitting how you want, it might be you need to switch it up.
Mm.
So ask people what they want to see. And then try doing some different stuff on stories and see what does well. See what people are replying to on the story. Say you did a video of you maybe you're just walking around in the street. You could be giving, some business advice or whatever, but it's a different format because you're filming like this.
Yeah.
Or you've turned your phone around and you've done zoom out 0.5 and you're vlogging like this. Suddenly you might get more responses to that than a sit down in a studio video. And
Yeah.
then
those do really well on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all comes down to personal branding, right? Mm-hmm. Like literally.
But it's
We're
trial
all-
and error. You
Yeah,
just
and
need to
you can
keep
always
trying different
delete
things.
stuff.
Yeah, you can.
If you don't like it. But it's true because so we committed to being like, we're only going to post podcast clips on our podcast account. But then we obviously had funny ideas for like, I've been a nasty girl.
Yeah,
like,
like
Yeah,
we wanted
yeah,
to do
yeah.
a dance
You
here
want me
and
to do that?
there.
Stop doing
Yeah.
that.
Was it us?
Please.
What do you mean?
Please,
I feel like,
come on.
and I'll be, don't take this in the wrong way.
Go
I
on.
feel like you have this vision of how other people might perceive you.
Of course.
And then you are trying to live up to that vision, but it's not actually who you are.
Oh, it's getting therapy.
It's getting
Yeah.
very deep right now. She's
getting-
analysing
She's gonna
it.
charge you 100
Yeah, she's
after
analysing
that.
That's
me.
exactly how I felt with
Yeah.
my content.
That's
on my
true.
pod.
People perceive you differently to how you want to be perceived.
And then I
that's
came
life.
across this picture, and it was basically like an orange, and it had a segment missing, and there was a garlic clove in there. And it
Okay.
said, just because you fit the mold doesn't mean you're meant to be there. So I realized, hang on a second, I might be brown, I might be Indian, I might like have these certain things that are expected from me, like be married, have kids, have a house, all these kind of things. And I don't want to focus on that because I want to put all that energy into myself and grow like that. And then those things will come as and when they do come. And they have, touch wood, like some of them have come. But it's not like I'm trying to fit a certain mold. So maybe break out of
Yeah,
Break
I
out.
think you need to break out.
So you're telling me I should do a TikTok
free.
going,
You need
I've
to
been a
break.
nasty girl. That's what she's saying. That's basically what she's saying. That is not happening.
But you're
Oh,
on your
please.
podcast, you're very serious, but you smile a lot.
I do.
Show
Yeah.
them teeth, show them ashes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Show another side.
Because
to
that's
you.
one thing that is going to do really well is when you show your personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll think about it.
No, don't think about
I
it.
won't think about it.
Experiment on
I'll
stories.
experiment. Yeah.
Really try that. And then, yeah. I believe. But
interesting.
yeah, so we were saying we were only going to post our podcast on the podcast account.
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh, but we want to do this dance. Oh, this could be really funny, whatever. And then we were like, look, we can't hold ourselves back just because it doesn't look great on the feed. Like, we'll just post
Yeah.
it. We just sort of like figured out what the cover photo would be, so it fit in a bit.
Yeah.
And then we did it, and they've done really well as well.
And people love them. Like, I have so
Yeah.
many people come up to me at my wedding bookings being like, oh my God, you did this trend, you did that
Yeah,
trend.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's fun to see that they see a different
Yeah.
side to me.
exactly.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid.
I'll experiment. I'll let the audience get to know me a bit better.
I'll tell you something else. You know, on all these big brands, like, who's that brand has got that green animal with the big eyes?
Duolingo.
Yeah, Duolingo.
I was speaking
Yeah.
about him yesterday.
Oh my
really
gosh.
funny.
So they basically have their mascot and it goes around and it does everything that is not anything to do with Duolingo.
Yeah.
Okay.
it'll be
And it gets so many
trends.
views. It'll be trends. It'll be other things.
Yeah,
and
and then
there's
dance I've
yeah.
been a nasty girl, whatever.
There are other companies that don't actually post anything about their products, but it's just their social media team doing stupid stuff at the office.
Ryanair.
Ryanair.
Ryanair, sometimes they'll link it to planes, but they'll do so many trends. And it'll be so funny, and everyone's like, give your social media person a raise.
Raise,
They get
yeah.
millions of
Yeah,
views.
yeah.
It's not even to do with the Ryanair flights, but it's just funny.
Okay.
But I know, because you want to be like, oh, I want this to be like a Stephen Bartlett podcast and like that. But he's probably done things that he didn't want it to be that way. But look where he's got now. Like, I do think, even Kim Kardashian. So this girl, obviously a lot of people, I think, put her down and they're like, she's got no talent.
Yeah.
But I respect
I think,
her
yeah,
in the
same.
sense of being a businesswoman
Yeah.
and a marketing woman.
Yeah.
Because she did, I've seen pictures of her from like 2008. She's promoting toilet roll.
Wow, really?
She's in like a bodycon dress, heels, and she's at this New York launch of this toilet roll, and she's holding the toilet roll, insert picture. She's there in front of the step and repeat board, in front of a toilet roll thing.
Yeah, yeah.
She's doing whatever because her goal is, I want to be the most famous person in the world. So she's just going to do whatever she could to get there. I mean, now she wouldn't do that. I mean, dead. What's the phrase? What's the phrase where you're like, oh, I wouldn't be caught dead in that.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be caught dead doing that now. But she had to do that to get to where she wants.
Okay, what makes you different? Like, what makes this different?
What makes this different?
Yeah. We're getting deep.
Yeah,
we are.
Getting analytical.
Because that's actually one thing that I wanted to stay away from is following a mold that other people have done and just trying new things because it keeps it different and keeps it fresh. So what I know you have an idea and you want to keep it serious, but I feel like you're so fun
Yeah.
and you're so bubbly and you have this kind of
I feel like it's in the actual name itself, the Endless Race podcast. I think
Yeah.
that is the message in itself, minus the guests.
Yeah, I
'Cause,
do
you know,
really like the name.
One
Yeah,
of
it's
the
nice.
questions is at the end of the pod, I'll ask you, give you guys a bit of time to think, is what does the Endless Race actually mean to you? And it's like, we're all running this endless race, right, called life. There's always challenges, there's always wins. And it's just being able to expose that with my guests. Hence why I came off the name. And, you know, every person that I've spoken to, I've said, you know what, I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
So it's mainly the brand, the Endless Race podcast, really. And then just bringing on the right people to be able to portray that message of the Endless Race.
Yeah.
so it's about people's journeys and people's lives.
People's journeys,
Yeah.
people's lives, and just exploiting
Yeah.
it. Because like I was saying to you downstairs, regardless of where you are, ethnicity, skin color, someone can relate to
Yeah,
something
that's
that
very
someone
true.
has to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is important. That's why I don't really look down upon anyone that reaches out to me.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Like if they've got 300 followers, okay, but they may have a really powerful story.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't want to just go for the big dogs,
Yeah.
because sometimes the message isn't as powerful because
Yeah.
their status is so high. So yeah, that's what I'm about. That's what the podcast is about, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Love that.
That's the message.
Yeah.
That's one thing I say to people when they first start as well. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, just start. And it doesn't matter if anyone makes fun of you. And if they do, it says more about them than it does about you.
Yeah. I mean,
So keep trying.
I mean, when I started off with just audio.
Yeah.
That was it. And then started in 2022, audios. And then 2023, I was like, no, I want to start getting guests on and actually start portraying this message of the endless race.
Yeah.
And ever since, I would like to say I've been quite consistent. Like I said, I try to get 2 guests a month. We're staying consistent with that. So just keep pushing.
Consistency is the
is
key.
key.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, tying into that like endless race, obviously us both being like freelance, we definitely know that. It does feel like it never ends.
It is, yeah.
But you just have to keep going. And it's one of those things you never want to stop because you're like, you don't know what could be around the corner.
You're on
You
like
don't
a
know what job
hamster
could be
wheel.
around. Yeah.
But when you take a step back, you realise that this is going to get deep. Life is not a race, it's a journey.
Yeah. And it's the destination that
Yeah.
counts.
We've been reading too many cheesy things.
It's not the destination, it's
the
the journey.
journey.
But that is true. I see, so a lot of the people I look up to are other presenters because that's what I want. I want to be like the next Mad Jammer.
You are.
Trademark
What do you mean
that.
you want to be? You will be.
Thank
you. will be.
you.
Talk
You'll
about things
live.
Love her, exactly. Olive, get it right. I'm joking. But she has done so many posts where she's at the top of her game, right? Love Island host, magazine covers, all of that. And she does a lot of posts where she'll say, you know what? I look back at me 10 years ago when she was doing her radio show and she's like, those were the good old days. Like, I loved that grind. I loved when, like, her and her friends, she's like, we weren't even that famous then, but like, we were just goofing about and we were having so much fun. And now everything I do is like orchestrated, planned, like you just can't be the old you. So it's very easy to, especially as creatives, we're constantly trying to get to that end goal. But sometimes you just need to stop, smell the roses and be like, actually, this is fun. Like, this is the grind.
Yeah.
You
And just
have to
trust the
fall in love with
process.
it.
Yeah, trust that it's going to work out in the end. I have so many days where I'm like, oh my God, what if it doesn't work out? And then I'm like,
It will
stop.
work out.
I'm like, don't think that. Bad thoughts.
But it's like
Sort your
working
minds
out.
out.
It's like anything that you do in your life. Like, you might have a goal, but then when you reach it, your goal changes. And so there's no destination. For me, there's been no destination per
Because
se.
you keep
because
leveling up.
every time I realise I can do something, I'm just like, is this it? Okay, what's the next step? What's the next step? And I think that's a little bit toxic on my part because I should stop and smell the roses.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to love the journey of doing it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just not going to like
Yeah.
it.
And
And you'll stop.
to piggyback off that, do you think you can truly be satisfied? Because that's another thing. I feel like you can never really truly be satisfied in life.
That's why I think, especially when it comes to social media, you can't put so much emphasis on the followers and the
You can't.
number. Because I think, let's say I got to 10k followers, I'd be like, okay, let me get to 20k. Okay, I've got to 20k, let me get to 30k. And I think
It's
I'd never.
it's not going to
Yeah. So that's why you have to find like your purpose and what does actually satisfy you and then be happy in that.
Yeah.
Like, it might be you've done a job with a charity and, you know, like it's actually helped people's lives. You then get a satisfaction on that. But I don't think you get a satisfaction from like the number of followers you
Yeah.
have. You
that's
might
a
in the
good point.
terms of you've built this amazing community, you've made loads of friends through all your followers.
Yeah, but it's
that can
never
bring you
gonna be-
satisfaction.
yeah,
but
that's
like
not-
just
yeah.
chasing a number,
It's not going to bring
not going to
anything.
work.
Trust me. The last few weeks, I've grown, I don't know how, touch wood, I've grown like 4,000 followers.
Oh,
on
wow, well done.
Instagram. I don't know how it came, but I'm so terrified because now I have all these people who I don't know who they are, and now I have to try and entertain them and figure out a way. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I sat in my room when it shot up 2,000 on like the first week. I was just sitting there thinking, what am I going to do? Who are these people?
Yeah,
Where do
what
they
do
come
they
from?
wanna see?
What do they want to see from me? And then I realised it's so hard to get a follow that there's a reason that they have followed. So just keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that is the journey.
Yeah.
And then people will come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep being you.
So you can't keep on thinking like, how can I get the next follower? You just have to keep on doing, and people will just join you on your journey, and then you'll just get bigger and bigger going forward.
Yeah.
And that's when you'll give up, is if you're just constantly chasing.
Yeah.
The number.
The number,
Yeah.
and the number doesn't actually mean anything. It's the community. Because when we
Yeah.
first started Chai&Crumpets, we were overwhelmed with how many people came over to our new account and supported it. Like, it was wild, wasn't
It's
it?
true, yeah.
Like, we were sitting there like, oh my god, where have they come from? Like,
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah. I mean, I guess to digress a bit, it wouldn't be an Endless Race podcast if I didn't ask a success and a failure from each of
oh
you.
my gosh.
So what do
How
you want
much
to start
time
with?
have you got on the failures?
So we've only got 15 minutes left. And I do have other questions to ask and also a general knowledge quiz as well.
Oh, no.
We'll start off with you, Liv.
Yeah.
Your biggest failure. It doesn't have to be necessarily to do with...
Oh my God.
Okay, let's not... Okay, let's not
I'm really
use...
trying to think about my biggest failure.
I did everything right.
Okay, let's not use failure because I know people don't really like to use that. Let's say lesson learned. It doesn't have to be in presenting. It can literally be something many years ago or whatever.
I feel like I've learned a lot though.
I can go with one on my
you
biggest.
go.
I would say not so much a failure, but one where I was holding myself back was I was trying to paint this idea of, again, what I thought I was, the person I thought I was, the person I thought people thought I was, and try to grow in that sense. And when I realized that, hold on a second, I don't need to be so serious. I don't need to always like just be makeup. Like people want to see me do like fun things, chatty things, talk about my food, show my workouts, be a well-rounded human being. And once I let go of that idea of perfection and what I thought I had to be, it just really taught me to be myself. And that's how I've built so many incredible connections online. So I'd say that level of perfection that you have in your mind, because what is perfection?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd say that's my biggest lesson. And that actually combines with one of my biggest failures. Like all the stuff that I did on the back of that, all the content was not true to me as a person. And then I started growing in this direction where I was just like, hang on a second, I'm not actually happy doing this.
Yeah.
And then I had to have like a really hard conversation with myself and realize that like, it's not just posting about my clients or like posting what I think people want to see. It's posting what I want to do. Obviously, like you have your niche and your audience follows you for a reason, but they start following you for you. And so that's what you have to do online.
And with that lesson learned, did that come with a lot of praying, a lot of meditation, a lot of soul searching?
Soul searching, yeah, but also reality slaps. Honestly, it's good to have people like,
Yeah.
it's good to have people
I'll
around
do that.
you who are going to actually tell you, like, hold on a second, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, even with my stupid little content on the fairy liquid, like, you were laughing at it. Like, loads of my friends were laughing. And in the end, I had to delete it. You know what I mean? Like,
You deleted the fairy liquid one?
I didn't delete it. Sorry, I put it in private so nobody can see. Because I don't want my
Why?
page. Because I don't want my page to be so confusing. Like when you come to it, I want it to be a bit obvious of what you're going to get there.
Yeah.
But then I'll post these random videos, which is what I was saying to you earlier. Post the content and then delete it or archive it.
Okay.
Because at least people get to see it. You might reach some people. You might get that follow. You might build your audience, and then you can just archive it.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I think for me, biggest lesson learned, which I've kind of done throughout my whole life, is doing stuff that is scary and stepping outside of your comfort zone.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like my parents kind of raised me in that way because I always knew I wanted to do either like acting or presenting, like something to do with entertainment industry on TV. And they kind of knew that. And I guess probably younger, I was definitely shy. I went to musical theatre school. There'd be times where I'd have to stand up in front of the class of 30 people and sing a solo.
Oh my God.
I can't even
horrendous.
sing. And I'm like 12 years old and I'd be so scared, like nearly in tears. And I just have to do it because they're forcing you to. But then now I look back on that, I'm like, that's so good because I feel like I built so much confidence there.
Yeah.
There was times where my parents would be like, they'd send me to an event and they'd be like, go and read a poem. And I'd stand at the front and I'd read a poem to like 200 people. I don't know why I was doing
my
that.
God.
So random, Dad. But they'd be like, do that because you need to get used to speaking in front of an audience, stepping outside your comfort zone. And then now as I'm older, when I get offered jobs, there's still a little part where I'll go, oh my God, that's really scary. Like, I'm actually going to do that. And then I'm like, you've got to do it.
Yeah.
Because if you turn that down, someone else is going to get it. And I don't want that other person to do it.
That's so
So
funny to
you just
hear
have
that
to not
from
be
you.
scared and just do it. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Even the first, there's always a bit of fear. Like just when we first launched the podcast.
Yeah,
it's always
oh my
a bit of
God, we were dying.
what are people going to say?
Yeah.
Or like when I first posted my first interview, I'm like, oh, what are people going to do? When I first posted street interviews, I had that idea for like 5 years and I didn't do it because I was at school at the time. And I was like, everyone at school is going to judge me and they'll start sending it around. So I waited till like after COVID. It's my final year at uni. I was like, oh, I'm just going to go and do it. And I was scared to do it, but I was like, it's for a bigger goal.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
just suck it up and do it.
Yeah.
You know, another thing, I don't know if you feel the same way, but like I have this fear of, it's going to sound really stupid, of success. Like if I think I can do something and I actually do it, like then I'm capable of doing so much more.
Exactly.
And then I put that much extra pressure on myself.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I have that fear.
I
want to be
relate.
more. I'm like, give me more success.
Yeah. But it's scary because then like you raise the bar on yourself and then you only have yourself to compete with, which is what you should be doing anyway. But then like, where does it end?
Yeah.
So you have to love the journey.
Yeah, and then success. What are we saying for successes?
There are obviously individual successes.
I think for me, it's not like a big blanket success. Success for me is meeting people one-to-one and realizing that I've able to like help them like figure out a makeup routine, which has made them feel more confident, or working on a wedding where their dreams have actually come to life and they've it's so nice. I cry at every wedding because they look in the mirror and they're just like, oh my God, this is so nice. But it's just, I would say those personal one-to-one moments with people, which I can build because I've built that community online. And that's where it comes from. So it all kind of like intertwines with each other. It's I never look at numbers anymore. I don't look at all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's fun. Like when we hit 1 million views on our first TikTok and Instagram, that's fun. But now it's just like, oh, we've already hit that. What's the next thing? Numbers are never it for me. It's always that one-to-one connection that I get with somebody, even through my DMs when I talk to people. And they like send me pictures of themselves at weddings where they've copied like a makeup tutorial.
Yeah.
And like it's made,
Yes,
it's so nice.
it's true.
Yeah, that's really
I
nice.
think mine's the same.
Yeah.
I love getting the jobs that I do, and to me that is a major success because I'm constantly trying to like climb and do better and better. But it all ties into like meeting new people, speaking to new people, like building a connection, finding a common ground, having things in common. Like that just feels great to be building like a family, like at the Corner Shop Network. Someone works with us as well. Like we've built such a community and like we're all really good friends. And it just feels really nice that you're working with your friends and you've got like that nice rapport and relationship. And like when I've done food videos, there's been times where people have messaged me and gone, oh, I just did your chicken recipe. And then I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool.
So like adding value.
100%.
that's
And like
really
personal
important.
connection.
Yeah, definitely.
Then how do you do that as you grow bigger? Do you know what I mean? That is one of my biggest like
True, because you
one
have so
thing
many
that
people.
Yeah.
I think that's when people, because even like Maya Jammer, for example, how big she is, she still does meet and greets.
Does
Like,
she?
like
Oh my
once a year
gosh.
she'll do a meet and greet and it'll be like you have to win tickets or whatever.
Oh my
But she'll
gosh.
meet like 30 people, take pictures with them, they hang
That's
out.
so cute.
So there's still ways of doing it, even if you have a massive audience.
Yeah. Interesting.
And responding to comments.
Yeah, responding to comments is a big thing. It's so underrated.
Yeah, I don't forget when I had another page on Instagram called Mind of the Minority. Basically, I'll just put
Called what?
quotes. Mind of the Minority.
Okay.
And again, Mind of the Minority is thinking like someone that doesn't think of a general idea, like you're thinking outside the box. And that's where that came from as well. And it's just quotes. I'll just put on quotes. And I remember one guy messaging me, he was like, oh, I didn't want to go to school today and you made me go to school.
Aww.
And that one message was like, wow, like I actually impacted that guy's life.
Yeah.
Maybe now he would never think twice about going to school because he thought of that quote.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So nice.
So yeah.
What would you say yours are?
Oh, I don't know if we have time, but I can quickly.
Yeah.
Do it really quick.
Failure.
Talk to your audience.
My biggest failure or lesson learned. I'll do my success. I think my biggest success is I've never given up,
Oh, I love that.
in the sense that, say for example, I'm trying to build a routine and it's failed. I would always pick myself up and go, okay, well, cool, let's go again.
Good.
I've never said, oh, I can't do this. I would always say, okay, cool, I had a little slip up, let me go again. So I would say that was my biggest success. Biggest failure or lesson learned. Biggest failure or lesson learned. Comparison is the thief of all joy.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I was going to snap. That is really true.
I'm getting better at it, but I'm so fixated on looking at the person who's above me and thinking, I want to be like them. They're doing this. Why am I not getting
Why are
these
these people
results?
above you?
Why are they above me? That's a good question. Why do I think that? Because if I
And do you feel like that about people below you? Because I don't see that from you.
No.
There you go. So they're probably not thinking about that.
Yeah.
Like-
It's all relative, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good point. So that would say I'd say
Oh, you
it's the
look
biggest
so
failure.
sad as you're talking about
Yeah, it's because there's been so many. So it's right. There's been so many times where you just compare and
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
true.
like,
Yeah.
Especially with Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, you're constantly scrolling, seeing all
Are
these things
you?
people are doing.
Are you?
yeah,
I mean, not loads, but
yeah.
a bit,
So
yeah.
so it's a killer.
No. Security guard.
I would say I'm at a stage where I don't compare myself to anybody.
Yeah,
That's
that's what
really
I really want to get to. It's
Yeah.
just-
I think that's why you're older.
Yeah, I think because I'm a grandma.
You get to
Yeah.
that
You
point.
youth will get there one
I bet
day.
it is though, when you get to like 30s,
Yeah.
40s, you're like, I just don't care what anyone thinks.
yeah.
I think it's 30. How old are you?
How old do you think I am?
This question, like a 15. Everyone who isn't 30 is 15.
They're 12.
Yeah, 12. I don't know. But I'm guessing 23.
You can't assume.
24, 23, 24.
Yeah,
I'm just
24,
guessing
24.
because
Yeah, good,
you're
good,
like
good.
similar age.
Yeah.
25 in September.
Ooh. I would say when you get to 30, which is where society puts all those expectations on
By the way,
you.
that means he's a Virgo man.
Yeah, I'm Virgo. Oh, okay.
Stress
Listen,
me out.
we're not doing that. This is not this
Stress
type of
me out.
podcast. Let's move on. So,
Virgo men are the worst.
no, let's not do that.
Worst.
Auntie's coming through.
So wait, hold on. I don't believe in star signs. And what are you then?
What do you think I am? Let's give that.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
know
an
because I don't follow star signs.
I'm an Aquarius.
I don't follow star signs.
an
I don't,
Aquarius.
I don't analyze a woman and say, oh, she's a Virgo, so I'm not going to go over her and all that crap.
I couldn't tell if you were a Virgo or a Leo. if
A
I'm
lot of
honest.
people say that when they analyze me, they know I'm a Virgo.
Yeah.
I'm quite
Ross is
particular.
Virgo.
Yep, quite particular.
So even I'm with the Virgo man, so it's a bit hypocritical.
But anyway, let's digress from the star signs.
Okay, one second, we'll come back to that. But what was I talking about? Grandma
we
Sim
were,
has
we
forgotten.
were talking about my age.
What was I
Oh
talking
yeah,
about?
how
your age?
you don't compare yourself.
Yeah,
to
you don't
anyone.
compare.
Oh, when you get to 30, all these society expectations on you are get married, have kids, have a house by 30. So when you get to that age, you realise that nothing actually matters apart from what you want. And then you can start living your life. And that's why I say to everybody, your life begins at 30.
Yep.
But going back to Virgo man, like you are controlling.
We're not going to go
You are
there.
perfectionist.
We're not going to go there.
Perfectionist.
No,
You
shit.
expect too
good.
much from
Yes.
people.
Podcast.
I'm
That's
joking.
shit. That's shit. Anyway, so there's another section that I do. We'll have to keep this very brief.
Yes.
Is accountability.
Ooh.
Okay.
So what that means is I feel as though people don't take inventory of themselves in the sense that they don't ask themselves what they're doing well and what they need to work on.
Yeah.
So Sim, what is one thing that you need to work on?
Oh my god.
Doesn't even have to be related to content. It might be a habit. It might be whatever. What is one thing that you want to do that is going to make you become a better version of yourself?
You're telling me I'm not perfect.
Oh, God. And she gets on to me about being a Virgo, please.
Aquarius women.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, that's really hard. Not to say that I'm perfect and everything, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've been working so hard on myself this year from we're working so hard on myself on a personal front this year. So I make sure that I'm eating well, I'm sleeping well, I'm getting my steps in, I'm doing everything that I can on a fitness level. So it's really hard because I'm actually asking those questions myself these days. Like, what is the next thing for me? I think for me, what can I do better? Actually, you go first. I don't know.
I'd say even though we've been discussing this, I need to care less about the numbers on the videos.
Yeah, you get really
Because-
upset about that.
Yeah, just because I spend especially with our podcast, like we spend so much time
much time.
editing it.
Yeah.
And even other videos like that I'll spend a lot of time editing, then it doesn't hit well and you're just like, ugh. But it's kind of the nature of my job. Most people have a big following. So I do feel that kind of pressure. I need that to be successful and being a presenter. But then I have to remind myself, everyone started somewhere. It's not all about your following. It's about the talent. So it's just working on my own presenting, getting that skill even better, how to speak to new people, learning to DJ, like all of that, just honing on that.
Oh my god, that's really good. I still don't know because again, I've been
Don't
working
have
on-
to have one.
I don't know. Like one of my main things last year was saying no to people and pulling back on work, and I feel like I've really pushed myself to do well at that this year. I've pulled back on a lot of things. I've focused more on myself. I would say trying to find more of a balance on like work life would be where I'm going forward.
That's
because
true, you are.
I feel like everything I do is content, so I'm always thinking with a content creator head. But aside from that, I'm on a journey of making
Yeah.
myself improve. So I don't know what.
Do you feel like you've ever been a people pleaser?
When I was younger, definitely.
Because I was.
Yeah.
I'd say I've only got out of that in the last couple of years.
Really?
But I was a big people pleaser.
Yeah.
And I do so many things I didn't want to do
Yeah.
just because I felt bad for
Yeah,
them.
that's
and
like me.
I didn't want to
Yeah.
let them
like me.
down. Yeah, but I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm starting to learn you can say no. Like if it's really not serving me
Yeah.
and I'm actually going to like lose stuff from doing this,
Yeah.
maybe it's best I don't do it.
My journey with that is you say that you're going to stop doing all this people pleasing, and then you have these boundaries, and then you try and enforce them, and the people who are getting taking advantage of you are getting upset at you. Then you're trying to find this balance of like, how can I keep the peace versus how can I do what I want to do? And then it's like you're trying to focus on yourself, but then it's also trying to enforce these boundaries. So it's really, really hard. It's really hard.
Because if they love you, they would accept and respect your boundaries.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. And it's when, yeah, because I've had friends that haven't respected it
Yeah.
and then they're getting really funny about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that's because you're not respecting it.
Yeah.
Like, this just
Yeah.
is the way it is now. Like,
yeah, it is.
accept it or it's just
And then it's an endless loop because you feel bad, and then it's just endless
yeah.
cycle. I'm the
endless
same.
race.
Yep, I'm the same.
Come back to me when you're 30, guys.
Yeah, we won't be people pleasing
man.
anymore.
It's in 5 years' time for me.
I think the hardest one for me was with my mum because, like, obviously I just want to make her happy all the time. And sometimes I have to remember that I can't always step up to what she wants me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the sense, like, I don't want to give you a grandchild.
Mm-hmm.
This year, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And she's just like, why not? What do you do with your life? And those conversations are hard because then I have to remember that she's got her own way of thinking.
Yeah.
I've got what I want to live my life. I'm like, who's going to look after this child? Like, I don't have time. I'm a busy woman. I'm in demand, mum.
Yeah.
Get it, girl.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess we'll wrap it up. So
Yeah.
I tend to ask the same question to all my guests, just to get like a perspective of what they are. Some of them are deep, some of them are not, but we will have to be relatively quickly on them.
I said, like,
Elevator
stop
pitch.
talking. Yeah.
So one of them is if you could have any superpower, what would it be, and how would you use that superpower to impact the world? Try not to make it generic,
gonna
like
be lighthearted.
like super strength or anything like that.
No,
Like,
mine has always been pause time.
okay.
Oh, that's a
Control
nice
time.
one, yeah.
Such a good one. You could do whatever you want. You could literally do anything. Control time, you can go back, you could save people, you could go forward, make a difference, bring out some new technology or whatever. You could pause time. Say you had so much to do that day and you're like, oh, I'm going to run out. You just pause time,
Yeah.
do all this stuff, press play. You've got a whole day ahead of you.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I have two.
Go for it.
One is because I travel a lot. I have family in the Philippines, and then I have family here as well. It's hard to be in
fly?
two places. Huh?
You want to fly?
I want to be able to just, like, you know that the thing in Harry Potter where they just like disappear and reappear.
Flue powder.
I just want to be able to take something where I can just come for like 2 hours in one location and then like take my powder and then go to another location and just like disappear. The other one is to eat whatever I can and not gain weight.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I am
That's a
tired
good
of going to
one.
the gym. I'm
Yeah.
tired of watching the macros.
That's a good one.
I just want to eat my pizza. I just want to eat my pasta. I want to eat my curry. Just leave me alone. Back off.
Fair enough. And the next one is who's had a significant impact on your life and why?
So many people.
Yes, so many.
Same as, because I couldn't do the podcast without you.
You know what? I will say, aside from my family, it has been Olive. Like, she's come in and she's like a big little angel. Big little angel.
too.
You are a big little angel. And it's just like having those friendships which are genuine, because as you grow older as women, you probably don't know, but
It's hard to keep friends.
It's hard to not just keep friends, but make friends, because you're growing and you've got a different life than your friends do. They might like go to uni, become doctors and dentists, and have like the whole family society lifestyle. You don't. You're meeting new people all the time. Do you have a partner who can trust you so that you can go out and network and come back at 1 o'clock in the morning? All these life choices you have to make. So, like, I would say definitely Olive, because like she keeps me grounded, but then she also like gasses me up when I need to be gassed up,
so
which is more often than not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
nice.
such a cheerleader as well. I love cheerleader friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
they gas you up, they tell you what
Yeah,
you're doing is
definitely.
good.
Yeah.
We motivate each other with our
Yeah.
content.
Yeah, that's really important.
Keep each other accountable.
Yeah.
Nice one. I love that. Second one is what advice would you give to someone? Let's do content creation.
Yeah.
Just start.
Okay.
Just start and stop overthinking stuff. Get your content out. Nobody cares about all the mistakes.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to notice any of the mistakes that you make.
Just post it.
Just post
and
it.
network where you go.
Yeah.
Cool. Wicked. Listen to that, guys. Good advice.
Listen to that.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Listen to that.
You've not been listening the whole time.
No, I was aiming at him.
Oh.
Just post. Are you listening?
Yeah, you need
I know
to
I'm
listen.
listening as well. I'm listening as well, bro. What the hell?
Post on stories.
Post on stories. I want to know what you're eating for
Yeah,
breakfast.
yeah. I'll do one
lunch,
today.
dinner. I want to see your
Yeah.
workouts.
I'll do
I
one
want to
today.
see where you're going on holiday.
Yeah.
Also, that's another thing. When people post a story about them getting on a flight, follow up. I want to know where you're going. I want to know who you're with.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
know what you're eating. And what
Yeah,
is that
yeah,
about?
yeah.
We
Yeah.
are on holiday, not
You're not
you.
a mysterious girl.
Yeah,
I want to
exactly. The next one is a quote. What is one quote that you guys live by when you're feeling down, when you can't be bothered to post on Instagram? What is that one quote that motivates you?
I feel like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That
You
gets
can't have
me
the same
through.
quote.
Yeah.
So yours has got to be
That
different.
does
too.
get me through.
I think for me, because I'm always on a hamster wheel, mine is life's not a race, it's the journey. You have to just understand that, like, you have to fall in love with the process. That's another one. Fall in love with the process
Yeah.
and not worry about the destination. There's so many. I have like these little mindset quotes.
You do.
Yeah, who are they from?
Books and everything.
Yeah.
I
fine
like.
influencers.
I also like when one door closes, another one opens.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
also,
love
That
that.
helps me deal with rejection.
yeah, rejection is just
Yeah.
redirection.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, us men have to use that a lot.
Oh,
you know?
do you?
Yeah.
What do you mean, us men?
Us men.
Why?
From the lady.
What about-
From
what
the
about-
from the ladies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. So,
Ooh.
Yeah. One rejection is wifey round the corner.
yep,
Yeah.
exactly so. And then the last one
Yeah.
is, as I mentioned before, what does the endless race mean to you guys in regards to like life?
I think it just means never give up.
Showing up.
Don't what's it like? Don't fall to society. Don't let like corporate world and society rules dictate your life. If you, do you know what I mean? There's so many things we talk about where it'd be like, oh, you're meant to have a kid at like 25. You're meant to get married at 22. You're meant to get married before you have kids. Like all these rules. Just do whatever you want. Life is a simulation, man.
It is.
It's how you want it to be. Just
Yeah.
do what you want.
It is a simulation.
Yeah, I want to add to that. I want to say, like, everything happens for a reason. So whatever is going to happen to you in your life, you just like take it on as it comes, but also create your own opportunities. Like, go out there, build the life that you want.
Yep.
Like, you're never going to have it fall into your lap.
Yeah.
And it is a constant, like,
Oh,
hamster
yeah.
wheel. It's really, really hard. But at the same
Yeah.
time, don't give up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So important. It's so important.
Don't give up.
That's
You
it.
know what? There's only one you in the world.
Yes,
Exactly.
that's another thing.
And that's another thing. A lot of people come up to me and they're like, oh, we want to be makeup artists, but they're so saturated. Yes, the market is saturated, but there's only one you who can do what you do.
Exactly.
Like, I can give you my tools and you're not going to be able to do the looks that
Yeah.
I can
What
do
I
it.
do, yeah.
So just go out there, believe in yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Build your own toolbox.
Yeah.
That's it. But that's been the end of the episode, guys. If you
Yay!
wanna slay, yes, slay. Liv said that about at least 4 or 5 times. If you
does
wanna,
say that.
if you wanna speak to the audience, tell them
Yeah.
where they can find you, your podcast, your personals.
Find us on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
At Chai&Crumpets.
at Chai&Crumpets.
Um,
You're at Simsagoo.
Mine is at Simsagoo, where you'll find lots of beauty content, fun, silly little videos.
And mine's at Olive Rosalind Smith, where you'll find my presenting, my interviews, and funny, relatable videos.
Woo!
Wicked, guys. That's been the episode, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
See ya!